Acting Permanent Secretary.
Nabanua Skunarangi Namomona Tubitongo, development partners, stakeholders from region and private organization, civil society and non-government organizations, representatives from government departments, distinguished guests, community champions, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you all in Istanbul, Mutsuda. On behalf of government and our partners organization, let me extend to you our warm greetings. I find that not many children are around, as we in the last week of our calendar year, and I think most schools are organizing their prize givings and parents are busy in that very important event. So we will continue with this message on our confidence and our belief that we are on the same wavelength in terms of our sustaining our fisheries for sustainable communities. I'm indeed honored to be part of this annual event this morning here at Lautoka City and to deliver the opening remarks to mark the official commemoration of the 2018 World Fisheries Day with a national theme of sustaining our fisheries for sustainable communities. Sustaining our fisheries for sustainable communities. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are part of a bigger celebration with different nations, communities, and individuals all over the world acknowledge the seamless connectivity between our fisheries and the social, cultural, economic foundation of a nation. In Fiji's context, we celebrate the importance of the ocean and surrounding coastal waters, the near shore waters and Ngolingoli areas, and also recognizing the very important reason for proactively managing our fisheries resources, as the same living fisheries resources are vital to our people as a source of food, income, and livelihood. On the same token, the ocean, coastal waters, including coral reefs, and the abundant fisheries resources also serve other functions, which would include natural capital, aesthetic values, cultural significance, and spiritual identity, as could be gauged through our traditional totems, and more so, a proud contributor to our nation's economic growth and social stability. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's theme highlights two key elements. One is the intrinsic relationship between our resources and our people. And secondly, the silent and the overarching plea to harness the balance between the use and the preservation of our fragile, finite fisheries resources. Fiji has a relatively small landmass, and any development activity would have a negative impact across the entire island landscape, affecting environment, people, livelihoods, and economies. Our oceans and its abundant resources provide a common thread that unites our islands and even reaching across its Pacific Island countries. And therefore, we all have a critical mandate to ensure that our resources are maintained at a sustainable levels, not only for the present, but also for our future generations. In launching this year's World Fisheries Day, I wish to also acknowledge the progress that our government has taken in recognizing the need to establish a dedicated ministry to effectively manage and grow our fisheries sectors. This stemms the Fiji's government commitment and offers a huge opportunity for all development partners and stakeholders involved in this sector. It is no surprise to all that our fisheries resources are supporting a variety of industries. Thus, the multi-sectoral, multi-stakeholder entity which demand continuous dialogue, open-minded negotiations, and inclusive management arrangement from all stakeholders. The fisheries sector is allocated into three subsectors, namely the offshore fisheries, inshore fisheries, and the aquaculture subsector. Each subsector is specialized in how it is managed and developed in alignment to the national development goals as outlined in our 5-year and 20-year National Development Plan. With this view, the government has continued to introduce strategies to increase the national fish supply, thus facilitating private sector growth, promotion of aquaculture, encouraging and harvesting of tuna resources by small-scale fishers, and supporting the marketing of available fishery resources that are landed across the maritime regions and relatively remote parts of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, the conversation on fisheries will not be complete without stating a few emerging issues that will inevitably affect us all. The pressure from the increasing population and urbanization will lead to increasing demand for food, which result into overfishing. The unplanned infrastructure development contributed to coastal pollution, the push for land reclamation, the loss of Fiji habitats, and the more efficient fishing technologies that also can lead to loss of targeted fish stocks, and the threats of climate change on fisheries, which can lead to threats to species diversity, to name a few. The best fisheries scientists in the world have revealed the true status of our ocean and associated fishery resources, and the verdict is persisting global overfishing trends and continuous decline in natural resource status and productivity. All this negative forecast is being exacerbated by the impacts of climate change. That truth that we have reached the tipping point and we must act now to reverse this grave trend. The fact that we are all here celebrating World Fisheries Day is our acknowledgement of these threats to our oceans, seas, and associated maritime resources, and that this challenge is assuming critical proportions. In this current generation, if this current generation fails to deal with this threat as boldly and as swiftly as we must, then we will place at risk the future of our oceans and fisheries resources, the future of our economy, and the future of our children. They will judge us very harshly if we allow an irreversible disaster to unfold. We need to accept this harsh reality and to work towards preventing it. Ladies and gentlemen, I, however, stand here today to say that the story is not all gloom and doom, but also to share with you what the government has implemented to counter these challenges under Sustainable Development Goals 14 interventions. During the United Nations Ocean Conference on the theme on our oceans, our future, partnering for the implementation of Sustainable Development Goal 14, which was held at the United Nations headquarters in New York from the 5th to the 9th of June 2017, the Fiji government have made 17 voluntary commitments. The 17 voluntary commitments that was launched by the government covered a wide range of topics, which includes the marine protected areas for marine managed areas, the integrated coastal management, proactive inshore or coastal fisheries management, the gender in the fisheries development, and the important food fish management and conservation, and the conservation and management of iconic megafauna such as sea turtles, sharks, larger rays, whales, and dolphins. You would be in fact well aware of the current conservation measures that the Ministry had boldly implemented this year, which include the introduction of a spawn enclosure with a seasonal moratorium for groupers and coral trout, kawa and donu. That is from 1st June to the 30th September 2018, which was incorporated for 4 months to help us in Fiji to implement this species voluntary commitment. This would include the development of the first ever large-scale offshore marine managed areas, the MMAs, which is the Watuira Ocean Seascape, and which encompasses a total area of 13,650 square kilometers. The Ministry of Fisheries is also actively engaged in the implementation of the UN Ocean Conference voluntary commitments, and the Ministry has set up a new division in the Ministry of Fisheries with a mandate and a focus on elevating coastal fisheries management and data collection framework, fisheries information systems, and compiling and strengthening the compliance strategies and enforcement programs. Ladies and gentlemen, the strengthening of our regional and international collaborations for technical and bilateral partners, for example, the South-to-South cooperations on fisheries. Early this month, the Fiji government have signed in a MOU with the government of the People's Republic of China on aquaculture and fisheries infrastructure development. The government of Korea has also assisted us in the fisheries management, climate change impact and mitigation, and infrastructure and technical cooperation and people-to-people exchange programs. The government of Indonesia has also earmarked seaweed industrial development and value addition. The government of Japan have come in to assist us in capacity building, technical assistance, infrastructure, and technology upgrading. I share with you these things because I want you to know that we have started on this path of proactive engagement, and it is just not all talk, and we sincerely want to walk the talk and bring on the necessary changes on the ground. At this juncture, I wish to acknowledge the collaborative partnership with all national, regional, international development partners, not forgetting our local community champions who continue to be the agents of change in sustainably managing our fragile yet rich fisheries ecosystem. Your presence today is a sure evidence of a true partnership and commitment to strengthen our ongoing network as we celebrate success stories, share lessons learned, influence ocean and fisheries policies, and to move forward together in one accord, knowing that we can still accomplish much and also make a lot of difference if we persevere and together keep moving forward. To conclude, ladies and gentlemen, the World Fisheries Day is a one-day event that serves to ultimately remind us again that we must continue to align our goals and ambition to sustaining our fisheries for sustainable communities. Let's start now. Let's start today. Let's start with you and me. And let's sustain our fisheries for sustainable communities today, tomorrow, and into the future. With the foregoing, I'm now much honored to officially declare the 2018 World Fisheries Day celebration open. Minakasaka walimu.